A person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new. Albert Einstein. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Nelson Mandela. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. George Adair. You just can't beat the person who never gives up. Babe Ruth. These famous icons all have good intentions with their words, but the people they were speaking to needed to feel that someone believed in them. Their encouraging statements were meant to create a productive attitude within the minds of their audience. In our day and age, teenagers and young adults know that people believe in them. The issue that lingers is not that we need more encouragement to make a life for ourselves, but that we need more time and space to decide where we want our lives to go. Teenagers are told to know exactly what they want out of their lives before graduating. We are expected to have our whole life drawn out on a timeline and labeled when we'll get married, how old we'll be when we have kids, and the dreaded, what our major will be. It's as if we are supposed to create a treasure map that has the exact steps it will take to reach success. By sophomore year, high schoolers are required to specify if they are going to a four-year university, trade school, community college, or into the workforce. How can you expect 15 and 16-year-olds to be certain of what they want to do 2 years down the road? Going into college, students are put into the environment that tells them, changing your major is bad and you should already know what occupation you will pursue. For my soon-to-be college students, it is okay to change your major. Do not let others convince you to stay in the same major if you know you're not going to be happy pursuing that career. I would like to know whose idea it was that everyone is supposed to be flawless by the age of 15. The idea of flawlessness eventually leads us to become overwhelmed and burdened to make the perfect decisions. Wear the perfect outfit, have the perfect grades, drive the perfect vehicle, post the perfect picture on Instagram or Snapchat. We have all fallen victim to this habit at least once in our lives. How has our society changed its thinking to there should be organized and calculated steps to reach your dreams instead of you find your dream while you're living your life? Don't get me wrong, I'm a strong believer in organization. Ranging from detailed planners to color-coded calendars, I'm without a doubt a type 1 on the Enneagram scale. And for those of you who spent even the slightest bit of time with me, you could definitely back that up. Let me briefly explain some traits of a type 1. Believes that everything has a specific order, responsibilities are important, rules should be followed, and are also known as perfection seekers. Now in the past, I might have been told that I'm an overachiever and my drive to be the best can sometimes consume me. My personality combined with the pressures of society have made me overwork myself in order to achieve my end goal. As a result, I wound up putting a large amount of pressure on myself just so that I could be flawless. But along the way, I learned that there is not a first place trophy for being the best in life. The one question I've been searching for the answer to is, who are you doing it for? Are you trying to be perfect to gain status, popularity, and attention from others? Or are you trying to create the perfect future for yourself? I must admit, I have jumped onto this stigma before. There was a time I often thought, I'm not as good as everyone else. I've been raised by a single mother and never had a relationship with my father. Growing up, I always wondered how I could be just like my friends who knew both their parents. I was ashamed and thought that since my dad wanted nothing to do with me, my peers would think the same and not want to be my friend. I was afraid that people thought that they were better than me, which made me strive to be faultless at school, with the words I said, and the people I hung out with. I tried to act cool and fit in with the popular kids, but I found out that it required more work to put up a facade than to just be me. The extremely high standards I set for myself were not healthy. I was so caught up on trying to make 100s on all of my assignments, buy the cutest clothes, and to plan the perfect future, that I lost sight of who I really was and what actually made me happy. If my dreams and my ambitions are truly my dreams and my ambitions, I should do something that makes me happy instead of trying to please everyone else. Once I moved to college, I saw that some people were falling into the same rut. Some students were only at college because their parents forced them. I saw some of the majors my peers chose were not something that they were interested in, but the majors that their friends, teachers, and family told would fit them best. I wanted to ask them, who are you doing it for? The people you surround yourself with do know you and your personality well, and you probably trust their guidance. In reality, the only person who actually knows where you want to head in life is you. I've always been the one to listen to other people and follow their guidance. I trust the advice of people I love because I know that they are caring about me and are trying to lead me in a positive direction. but by listening to others, we begin to live in their idea of what our life should look like. Being surrounded by trends of flawlessness eventually leads us to forget the original plans we had for ourselves. I started to see that the only opinion of myself that mattered was mine. I had to stop spending all of my time upset over things that I had no control over. Not knowing my dad bothered me, but in the end is something that I cannot change. I have realized I'm beyond lucky to have one parent that loves me. I've become content with the fact that I may not have the perfect house, or the perfect car, or even the perfect clothes, but I do have the best family. I realized that I didn't have to spend every waking moment trying to be like everyone else, but instead I had to strive to be myself. Finally, after years of belittling myself because of my family situation, I chose to see myself as Dekota, the smart, well-liked daughter of a single mother who put standards on herself for herself, and not Dekota, the coward who wanted to be like everyone else. Press forward. Do not stop. Do not linger in your journey, but strive for the mark set before you. George Whitefield. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. Robert Louis Stevenson. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Walt Disney. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. Jimmy Dean. Inspirationists, such as the ones I've quoted today, have taken the stand against opposing opinions and pursued the life they saw for themselves. We should all do the same. After hearing these encouraging quotes, we should be two things. 1, assured that others have followed their own path. And 2, comforted by the fact that they succeeded. We have the freedom and control to make our own decisions, and it is up to us to break out of the mold the world tries to conform us to, and pave our own path to happiness. As we go throughout our lives, I challenge you to follow the road that will lead you to your desired destination. Be mindful of the decisions that you make and how they will impact your future. You have the opportunity to take control of where your life is headed, which is why it is crucial to make every choice count. Before we make the decision to follow the most popular route or take the road less traveled, we must always ask ourselves, who are you doing it for? And the answer should always be me.